All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the November 2025 Safety Commission meeting. We'll call it to order here. First order of business is everybody should have had the meeting minutes from the August 7th meeting in their packet. And would like, if there are any changes or additions.
I'll make a motion to approve as they were submitted.
I can second that.
All right, we got a motion second to approve the minutes from last time. All in favor
Aye.
and opposed? All right.
Do you need a motion to approve the agenda, Joey? Okay.
All right. Next up, old business. Update on.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair and Commission members. Hi and welcome. Just to update you, last time we met, it was recommended that by the Commission to City Council that yield signs going on 2nd North Street at the intersection of State Street. That was approved by the City Council. They ordered in the installation of those signs. The Street Department completed that, I would say, shortly thereafter that council meeting. So those are up. I guess I haven't received any feedback positively or negatively on them, but so they seem to be serving their purpose just fine. And then I can jump right into 3.2, and that is Comprehensive Safety Action Plan and School Zone Speed Study progress. So both of these projects are being done by SRF Consulting Group. On the Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, they have completed the public outreach and engagement. They attended 4 in-person events in town, and those included New Ulm Night Out, the Brown County Fair, Herman Fest, and Oktoberfest. Their in-person engagement was really good. They got a lot of good comments and feedback from people, wishing to provide their opinions and thoughts. I just had an update meeting with them this afternoon. We have about 85 comments on our interactive web map. So amount of feedback's okay. They would have liked a little bit more. So I think it's going to be left open through mid to late November, and then they'll compile those comments and begin moving forward on the plan. So more to come in front of the commission, most likely in January, February of next year on plan progress once those comments are compiled, and just continue to plan progress moving forward. Also completed, our SRF has identified our high injury network, and not surprisingly, it's generally the state highway through town. And then they also have completed the demographic review. So that's all components that'll be within this completed plan. So they're making good progress, and they're right on schedule as well. As far as the school zone speed study, they have collected data and are really going through the analysis portion of that right now. So we really don't have a set schedule on that, but reports will be in the works, and hopefully early next year we should have at least a draft for the commission to review. So, any questions?
I don't have any.
All right. Thank you. So we don't need to do a motion on that. Do we?
No,
Just
that- no,
file
yeah,
that
yeah,
report.
yep.
Okay. Then we'll move on to new business. Consideration of the proposed 2026 capital improvement plan.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair and commission members. So within your packet today is the 5-year CIP list for the proposed improvements. I'll touch on a little bit of the 5-year plan, but I won't go real in depth beyond 2026. So plan for 2026, which I consider a standard utility and reconstruction year. We don't have anything real outstanding on there. The main project there is State Street from 12th North to 16th North Street. The main improvements we were proposing with that, it's a street and utility reconstruction project. We have aged and really some utilities that are in really poor shape. But that segment really doesn't include crosswalks along the segment into the fairgrounds. So we will be adding crosswalks at every intersection and adjacent to the fairgrounds there. It's heavily traveled, especially during Fair Week and whatnot. So those will be added in. You'll see the miscellaneous concrete sidewalk and pedestrian improvements section. We are proposing to do a bunch of trail patching along the rec trail, specifically along North Highland Avenue from CASA 29 to 7th North Street. Some of those big elm trees have created some issues with the trail. So we are looking to get in there and rectify that and repatch to provide that safe, usable surface for trail users. And then the other one we've previously talked about as a commission, and it's kind of been an item for quite a while, is up by the MLC soccer fields on 5th North Street or CASA 27. Especially during soccer season, it's really tough for kids and parents to cross that road. So what we are proposing is to add an additional crosswalk location and install a set of RFB enhanced crossing devices similar to what's at Center and Garden and other locations throughout the city. We have received really good feedback on those devices, so we think that's an appropriate spot for them. So we would have some parking restrictions, probably 50 feet each side of the crosswalk to provide better sight lines, because on the curve, it's not a very safe situation with some of the site constraints that are there. So that's probably of most interest to the commission, that location and project that we are lumping in next year. Just item of note, I do need to take that to the county highway department and their highway committee just for their blessing as well. But I've kind of gotten a verbal from the county engineer that he would fully support those improvements as well, because that is a county state aid highway. Also included within the packet, I included the active transportation plan and the complete streets policy. Those are just kind of our guiding documents as we develop our projects, to make those improvements, to make our city more walkable, walk, bike, and roll friendly. So I included those just for reference if the commission chose to review those.
Question.
Yes.
Is the north side bike trail included in here somewhere, resurfacing that?
North Park?
The north end, if you go from like Center Street out?
Yeah, so that trail resurfacing is probably from 7th North, kind of where it starts by the high school. Yeah, so we're not going to do the whole thing. There'll be a bunch of patchwork.
Oh,
Yep.
on the trail?
On the trail, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
'Cause it's bad, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it's, those elm trees are wreaking havoc on the surface.
No, down on Front Street,
Oh, on Front Street?
on the real bike path.
Oh, no, we aren't going back there yet, so.
Okay,
Yeah, we did most of that patching and overlay work. We've tried to get most of it. There is a segment probably between 3rd and 7th. We have a little bit of work to do yet, kind of adjacent to the dog park, but we'll
Okay.
hope to include that in the future CIP. There's some pretty big gaps and cracks in the trail down there yet. We just haven't had the funding to tackle. And depending on how bids come in, if we have some funds left over, we might add that in, but we'll have to see how far we can get the dollars to stretch.
okay, thank you.
So I'll just kind of quickly go through the rest of the 5-year project listing. The main project in 2027 would be that Garden Street project from Center Street to 5th North, including the mini roundabout at 5th and Garden. That's going to be a major roadway reconstruction project along with replacing aged and undersized water main. Another big stretch that we have included in 27 would be Franklin Street from 5th North to 12th North, but that would be a utility and roadway reconstruction in the grid part of the city. Continuing through in 2028, we're coming back downtown to work on German Street between Center and 3rd South Street. And then also with that would be 1st North Street between German and Front Street in front of the Public Utilities Power Plant. So with that project, we'd try to make that trail crossing on 1st North a little bit better. It's some pretty steep slopes. It's not the most friendly if you're biking. It's kind of jarring, so we'll make those ramps ADA compliant as part of that project. That's an ugly project in one of the oldest parts of the city, so lots of utilities and things to work around in there. But improvements can be made to our walk, bike, and roll network as well. 2029, another grid project on Payne Street from Center to 5th North Street. And then another chunk of German Street from 3rd South to 7th South. So if anyone's driven that, you know, condition of German Street's pretty poor shape. So we're trying to tackle those projects as well. A lot of the streets that remain that are in poor shape have very old utilities with them and need major work on the utilities as well. So again, it's trying to put the puzzle together and decide which projects we can get to fit in and with the funding that we are allotted. And then finally in 2030, which feels, I'm scrolling on the wrong one, I'm sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, I was wondering what
There we go.
was missing.
Here we are in 2030. The big one on this year would be Center Street, the Center Street corridor improvements. So that would include from Payne Street through Garden, partially up the hill towards Summit. Roundabout improvements at both intersections. We're keeping a placeholder in of that PED tunnel, but as we've done more research, that may become unfeasible because of existing utilities that are in the way. We'll know more about that as we reach actual design instead of concept design. But yeah, that would be the big one, and we've talked with Brown County on that as well, because that is, Center Street is a CASA county highway as well. So I think we are both going after grant funds. We each can apply for those funds. There's a bunch of different categories that I think if we work together, we can find the funding to accomplish this project. So it's a priority project with the county too. So it was a very good conversation with Mr. Lane at Brown County Highway Department. He's a project he would like to see accomplished as well, but we need to identify the funding for that because it is about $7 million worth of improvements. Yep.
Why are there no new trees in 2028? Every other year's got trees except 2028.
So 28.
We know we don't have money already, or what?
Well, so we don't anticipate, and there may be some trees, but in that section of German Street, we're not anticipating having to remove them.
Need any?
Yep. So generally, we include the tree planting project, and once we get to design, we might realize, oh, we do have, 10 trees we have to replant that had to come out. But at this point, we're not anticipating needing to take any, but that might change once we get into actual design. So it's our best guess at this point in time. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, and the council may always elect to, if they want to see us planting more trees, they may direct us otherwise as well to add that
At the
in.
end of the day, Joe, you're just breaking that out as a line item, are you
Yeah,
not?
so we-
It's really in the project, but yet you're breaking it out as a separate line item
Yeah,
to
so the
show it.
reason we have them as a separate project is the MnDOT tree warranty extends for a period of 2 years, and we like to close our construction projects out as soon as possible. Doing them as two projects allows us to keep the tree portion of the project open, because if we combine them, then we're keeping that entire $4 million project open for $20,000 worth of trees, and contractors don't like that because we hold money back when the project's open, so. So we found, and we get much better prices this way too. We found that we can plant a lot more trees for a lot less money, so that was kind of a byproduct of doing that this way, but we've found it's working pretty well for us. So that, I know I ran through everything really quickly, and then finally, the last sheet in here is just a overhead view of State Street, kind of, we can kind of see those locations where we're, there's, really isn't the ped ramps for those fair vehicles that park on the side streets and things like that, especially during fair week. So we felt it would be a good add-on to make sure we add those ped ramps in as part of the project.
Well, there's really a lot of activity at the fairgrounds all season long.
Yeah, not just during the fair, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
between the weddings and the festivals and.
Yep, yeah, and, Bavarian Blast and everything else that happens down there, the
Right.
fairgrounds gets used, so. At this point, we're not necessarily looking at adding bump outs along the corridor. I don't think there's that consistent pedestrian count to warrant that, but I think at least adding the ped ramps in will help, but that's something we'll look at during design as well.
Bump out for me.
Bump out, like on Minnesota Street, those curb extensions where the curb, so that crossing distance for the pedestrians is shorter. Instead of crossing the full 40 feet, you're crossing maybe 22 feet of exposed in the roadway. But I know it's a quick run through of 5 years and, about $40 million worth of work.
The deal with the tunnel on Center Street in 2030, is that, the utilities closer to where the roundabout would be versus moving it a
Well,
little further to the
Yeah,
west?
so there's major water mains, the main one that runs along Center Street. And we have a feeling that's going to be kind of right in the middle of where that tunnel would be. Also associated with the tunnel is very extensive retaining wall work that would be
Right.
needed. So it really gets down to that cost benefit where, if
Whether
we're
or not you can
pumping
get the
$2 million
soil
just for the PED tunnel, can we, do better enhancements in the roundabout for the
Right.
pedestrian crossings, RFBs or other things. So that'll be, assuming we get the funds and we can get a consultant under contract for that, then we would really dive into what's the best treatment
Yep.
for the intersection. And there's sanitary sewer in there that comes down the hill as well, so a lot of those we can't move.
Right.
Water, we could go up and down if we had to, but sewer, I'm guessing is going to be almost right in the middle of the tunnel.
Right.
Or very close to it, so. But until we do a deep dive into actual,
It's just, there's a lot of people have started, since some of this stuff, information's coming out that the city's looking at it.
yeah.
Over
And we
the
will
next
continue,
5
yeah.
years, there's a lot of people starting to chirp on it and think
Yep.
that it would be a nice addition, so that's why
Yeah,
I
and
just asked.
if we can construct it, we will include
Yeah.
it, yeah. I think it would be, anytime you can have that grade separation is going to be the perfect solution.
Yep.
But,
If it can't be constructed, will there be somehow another safe pedestrian cross?
yeah, we'd look at RFBs or, some sort of alternate. We'd see what the consultants can come up with on that project, yep. But, as long as, if the roundabout goes in, that's going to be a safer condition than what currently exists, but we'd hope to modify it to enhance it even further to make that safer. Maybe it's a bigger center island or refuge area for the PEDs or something like that as well, so. But,
Some communities, you see an elevation.
yeah, bridges are expensive, I've found, so, that's always a possibility. But yeah, that comes with a very hefty price tag as well, so. But that will conclude my report.
All right, any further discussion? Okay, are we looking to make a recommendation to the city council?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'd be looking, if the commission so chooses, typically, the commission would make a recommendation that the CIP is meeting the intent of the Complete Streets and Active Transportation Plan. So that's what we'd be looking for today.
I would make that motion that it satisfies the intent.
I second it.
All right, motion and second to recommend that this plan meets the requirements. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. The recommendation is made. That is the end of our agenda. So our next meeting is slated to be December 4th, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.